The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. The Israeli government says a new negotiation dialogue with Palestinian group Hamas will take place to recover more hostages in Gaza. A Reuters source said Israel's lead negotiator already met with Qatar's prime minister. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he had already given instructions to the negotiation team. News of a new round of negotiations came after Israel's military disclosed that troops had accidentally killed 3 hostages who approached them with a white flag after escaping Gaza. In November, a 4-day truce took place, which prompted the release of over 100 hostages held by Hamas in exchange of captives in Israeli jails. The Israel military says signs reading SOS and help 3 hostages in Hebrew were found on the walls of a Gaza building. This was where 3 Israeli hostages had been hiding before they were mistakenly killed by Israeli forces. The military distributed photographs of the white cloth signs written out in red, likely with leftover food. They were hung on a building about 200 meters from where the hostages had been shot. The 3 hostages were abducted from a nearby kibbutz Niram and were killed in Shejaya, an eastern suburb of Gaza City. It said they had raised the white flag and were shirtless when shot, against Israel's rules of engagement. Israel's military chief has since told troops inside Gaza not to repeat that mistake. Pope Francis denounces terrorism, the Israeli Defense Forces' killing of 2 unarmed civilians who were sheltering in a Catholic church in Gaza. The Patriarchate said an Israel Defense Forces sniper killed the 2 women who the Pope named as Nahida Khalil Anton and her daughter Samar. The Patriarchate statement said 7 other people were shot and wounded as they tried to protect others. An Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the incident was still under review and had no immediate comment on the Pope's words. The Pope's remarks marked the second time in less than a month that he used the word terrorism while speaking of events in Gaza.
L'avvicinarsi del Natale rafforza l'impegno per aprire strade di pace. Continuano a notizie molto gravi e dolorose. Civili inermi sono oggetto di bombardamenti e spari. Qualcuno dice è il terrorismo, è la guerra. Sì, è la guerra, è il terrorismo. Per questo la Scrittura afferma che Dio fa cessare le guerre, rompe gli archi e spezza le lance. Preghiamo il Signore per la pace.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. still watching One News Now World. I'm Diego Castro. North Korea fired a short-range ballistic missile on Sunday as it condemned the United States for raising tensions. South Korea military reports that the missile was launched towards the sea off North Korea's east coast. South Korea says the launch is a clear violation of the UN Security Council resolution which prohibits the use of ballistic missile tech. The launch follows US-led military shows of force, including the arrival of a submarine in South Korea. Pyongyang deemed this tantamount to, quote, a preview of a nuclear war. The Russian Defense Ministry says Moscow's rocket forces have loaded a new Yars intercontinental ballistic missile into a silo launcher. The ministry released a clip of the giant missile being transported to a silo south of Moscow and loaded into a shaft. The 23-meter-long missile is designed to carry multiple independently targeted re-entry vehicles. This allows the missile to deliver multiple nuclear warheads at different targets. Let's now take a quick look at other world stories we're watching. Chileans reject a new conservative constitution to replace its current text that dates back to the Augusto Pinochet dictatorship. The rejection of the conservative text can be seen as a win for leftist President Gabriel Boric. An intense storm left wreckage in Argentina, knocking over trees, lampposts, destroying roofs, and killing at least 13 people. President Javier Milei offered condolences to the victims of for the families of the victims. And runners in Mexico and Venezuela brought Christmas joy to the streets. Thousands of racers, their families, and even dogs dressed in Santa Claus costumes took part in Christmas-themed races in Mexico City and Caracas. And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.